you kind of an introverted little girl, or were you kind of, like that?
No, I was introverted. I was very quiet, strangely enough. Occasionally I would mess up, but I was pretty quiet, very shy.
Were you a good student?
I was an okay student. I was never really particularly interested in school. I always wanted to know what was going on outside. But I managed to get through it, muddle through.
That is the problem with a child, I bet, like you, is keeping them interested and stimulated.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, they had no words for it. Everyone said, well, this is what school is. You're not supposed to have a good time. But for me, I needed more. And I was fortunate to have a mother who understood that I had a different need. And so she made sure that I was always doing something interesting, because you grew up here, you have access to Leonard Bernstein and the young people's concerts, and you have access to the planetarium, and you have access to Lincoln Center, to the Nutcracker. So there was always something cultural, to go and do. So she always made sure that supplemented my education.
Was it your mother that gave you the confidence and the will to go
Oh,
through?
yeah. Oh, yeah. She just, when your mother says there's nothing you can't do, you're just going to have to work a little harder, because some people will tell you you can't do it, and you can. And if you really want it and you don't mind working a little harder, you'll be fine. But if you don't really want it, don't waste their time and don't waste yours. She was very succinct about it.
You know those dolls that have sand in the bottom of them that'll blow up things? You hit them and they go, boom.
Right.
To be an actress and to be an actor, I would think you almost have to be like those dummy dolls. When someone hits you, you got to be able to bounce right back up.
Yeah, because you get hit a lot. Particularly the better you do, the worse it gets, and so you lose your freedom to make mistakes, and you lose your freedom to search, and you lose your freedom to experiment if you choose to. And you take a lot of hits and a lot of knocks, and you either say, I'm not going to do it anymore, or I'm not going to deal with this, or you go, you know what, you all can, yes, yes.
You ever get in a funk when something doesn't work right?
No.
You just kind of water off a duck's back kind of?
No. No, I like things to work right, and if we all notice that it isn't working right, then I'm much more comfortable. If I'm the only one who is saying it's not working and people are telling me it is, and they can't explain to me why I don't get it, I can get testy. But, people like Norman Jewison and Rob Reiner and Herb Ross and Steven Spielberg and all the really fine directors I've worked with have never had a problem saying, well, try this because you may be missing this. Or the ones that are dependent on you to make their career don't want to hear from you. And then I can be really rough.
I admire people with convictions, and you certainly have them. You're not afraid to go up and speak for a union, or you're for a political candidate. Is that a little dangerous sometimes to be that out front when you're trying to be, the entertainer and get people to buy your tickets? Well, I don't like her because she likes so-and-so.
Well, if people decide that they don't like me because they don't like my work, that's one thing. If you don't like me and you don't want to see my movies because of my politics, that's kind of dumb. And I would think most people are smarter than that. I mean, I learned I had a talk show once, and I interviewed a very racist man who turned out to be a huge fan of mine, So you never know where it's going to come from. But I would hope people would dislike my politics and dislike me for my politics and let me be as an actor. Come see what I'm doing, because my politics aren't necessarily on the screen.
Whoopi's best work is her serious work, don't you think?
No, Whoopi's best work is whatever work she gets. She's at her best. Whoopi's best box office work, who can ever say what that's going to be? But I'm lucky. I have the ability to do both, so I'm just happy to be out there,
You're so talented, it's disgusting.
I know.
Nice seeing you again.
Nice to see you again.
I just kind of had to run into some of the serious things I've watched